Hello there, Seraph17 once again. This is my Max Payne 3 old school no damage run. This is chapter 11, and this first fight that you're watching is by far the most awkward fight in Panama for me. I would never normally remember this fight, but I do now. And I do because the amount of times I was running into this kitchenette area to try and do a shoot dodge to do something cool, and I got shot by a knobhead that came on a different timing, was incredibly high. The amount of times I had problems colliding in a room was really high too. It just led to not a lot of fun, guys, and I really didn't enjoy that part, but everything else was pretty cool. Right then, I trimmed out a sequence where Max has to turn off 2 valves, and it's mandatory damage, so you'll notice right now on my bar that I have red on it, and if I've done my job correctly, you should have never seen red on that bar outside of that one helicopter incident and the vehicles. But unfortunately, on that section that I trimmed away, Max has to move through an environment that's hurting him, so it's completely impossible to no damage outside of using a trainer, and that's cheating, obviously. But this part coming up here is kind of long, and sprinting forward to hit all of these guys in a shoot dodge is a little bit dangerous. If the people react too quickly, it's impossible. They just shoot you every time. It happened to me a bunch of times. This fight in this room is optional. You don't have to do any of this, folks. And you don't get a checkpoint until you hit this section here. So you have to kill a couple of people and move through some bedrooms. But this was like a one attempt, this one. 1 or 2 attempts. I did not know where the enemies were in that building, and I just kind of reacted, and it went my way. And there's a part of me that really wanted to re-record it to make it cleaner, but I thought this was just the craziest thing. And how that guy missed me then, I'll never know, but I'm really grateful. How crazy was that? There's no planet where that should have been possible, but I'm really glad I managed to capture it. And then the famous Darkside Phil flies off the boat into Glitchland section. So this is another one of those moments where I'm going to be using cover, and I'm going to be kind of defensive, but if you move along the side and you shoot dodge, by the time you've recovered, somebody else will shoot you. I tried it a bunch of times and it just wasn't giving me anything, and then this particular moment was a really easy spawn, and there it was. And then this section, this is another, I think this was the second attempt. On the previous attempt I got shot by somebody over there on the barge on the other side, so I know once I've killed all these people behind the bar I have to look over there, and then I do it like this, and I managed to nail those shots, which were really cool at the time. I think there's just... oh no, I got them all, I think. However, there are people in that doorway, and you do not get a checkpoint now until you go through the door, and the door is a door that is triggered by proximity. So unless the enemies go near it, or unless you go near it, it just messes around. And this is really scary, because at this point, I've not seen this room in over 5 years. I can't remember where people are. So there's a part of me that's super nervous, and then I do that, which is a failed shoot dodge into the wall, because this game is silly. And then I kill him, and then behind them is another automatic door. So the moment it opens, I do the dodge, but he doesn't bite. And this is where things get real scary, because a guy shoots at me, I think, but it misses. And I know there's 2 guys in here, one guy there, and then one guy to the right, but he doesn't bite again. The AI cock blocks me, and then for some reason, I don't get shot, and I manage to salvage it. That was crazy. I'm really glad that made it, because it doesn't look like much and you might not think it's impressive, but it felt insane at the time. It was really, really nerve-wracking. It was a fun section. And then this moment right now, if you shoot dodge forward against these guys at this range, there's another spawn on the bottom that can shoot you, and I had no luck with it. So instead, because there's so many cutscenes and I got sick of seeing it, I'm just going to pop people's heads really quickly. I mean, you might think that's cool. Some people might find just the head popping, you know, satisfying. That's fine. To me, I want to be doing as much diving as I can. You might be one of those people that thinks diving looks messy. I don't know. You know, everybody's different. This is a very subjective run. But the music right now is superb. I love the Panama theme. And there's also going to be some bonus clips at the end of this one, folks, because I had a lot of glitches on this level. But right now, there's just a couple guys on the bottom and there's a guy on the top. And you'll notice I'm staying in cover to get some bullet time so that I don't take an accidental bullet. This is another one of those bitch sections, pretty much. However, this is one of those moments where it's completely possible to do this without bitching out like I am doing, but I didn't want to. I really don't think Max Payne is at its best when it's a big long-range gunfight like this. Two people shooting at each other over a great distance is kind of the antithesis of what I think these games are. I think this would have been way better if they'd give you a Barrett rifle like they do on the building site level. I think it would have just made it flow a little bit easier. Maybe there's one in that truck to my left. Who knows? I don't think there is, but, you know. Shout out to the 2 bullets through my chest as well. No damage run, running around with gunshot wounds. And there is the final kill. And now we get to move forward from this checkpoint. So there's 2 guys that rush you here, and then in the building there's 2 more guys. I had a really interesting time with this bit because I could not get it to go the way I wanted. Every time I dove, everybody hid. And I kept having problems where the game would skip to the next sequence without me finishing the fight, which got really frustrating because it meant that I had to restart a bunch of times. But in the end, I managed to clip that guy, and that's the end of this fight. And now you do the shoot dodging section on the cable. So this is really buggy, and it gives you a Desert Eagle. I don't know what's wrong with the Desert Eagle, but you put the reticle on people's faces, it goes red, you press the trigger, and they don't die. It's really, really frustrating. That man right there is the person who takes multiple Desert Eagle shots and laughs them off. And I don't know why. He's wearing a baseball cap. Baseball caps do not deflect high-caliber handguns. And if you know anything about a Desert Eagle, it fires a very big bullet. It is a very powerful handgun. Of all the guns to not work correctly, it's a really strange choice. And I have no idea why it does it, but for some reason out of all of the pistols, I would never want to get stuck with this one, because it doesn't perform the same. I don't know if the bullet travels slower, which would be preposterous, but it could happen. I don't know what it is. If you know, guys, please let me know. I just know from experience, from empirical evidence of this run, that every time they gave me a Desert Eagle, it was weird. It just did things it shouldn't have done. It missed shots that I didn't miss. It just trolled me. And I can't explain it, guys. I really can't. And I'm going to make it look pretty nice, because these fights coming up are kind of cool. This is all on one checkpoint, but it's really fun to learn this part. I liked it a lot. There's only one aspect of this that can trip you up, and that's when you push through the corridors and the people don't pop out. Every corridor like this has a cheeky guy on the end of it. Every staircase has a cheeky guy on the end of it. If they just stick the gun out like he did, you can't get the headshot sometimes, which is really cheap. I'm not a fan of that, but it happens. I get why they do it. It's pretty clever from the AI. And then this part here, there's 2 guys to your left, but it's really hard to see them when you shoot dodge, because there's a banister that gets in the way. But I managed to clip them both. And then the final bit, I nearly did this on my first attempt, but the last guy hit me as I went into my shoot dodge. So I think I'm going to miss a shot here, which really makes me sad. Yeah, there it was. That was me though. I can't blame the gun there. I shot preemptively, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? And then the bonus clips coming up are going to be a sequence of really, really stupid parts. So I don't know what this one is. I think this might just be a different run at the beginning, because I did this quite a lot. That guy right there, his timing is so rage-inducing. There's times when he's a million miles through the kitchen, there's times when he's not. That was a nice bit, I like that part. Next spawn, here he comes. Getting hit by that spawn is the worst, and then the final enemy coming up comes out on the right. Hang on, there's a guy just there. Do I get him when he's on the floor? Oh, I think I do. Yeah, that was sick. That's a nice one. And then you see all the liquid spraying out. That was sweet. So another different one. The gun I'm using right now is the single Glock. By far my favourite handgun in the game. Because it does single shot really well, and it does rapid fire really well too. It just feels strong. I can't even begin to tell you how much fun this gun is. So now I have to get up, and this is always scary, but you see when he ducks? The moment he ducks, I've got a free window of opportunity to stand up. That's frustrating too, when most of your shoot dodge is spent waiting for you to be able to see the enemy, and then the final guy's just there, jump through the kitchen, put a bullet in his face. Oh, and then land on the side. Oh, and this is Mr. I don't die from a Desert Eagle because I'm wearing a baseball cap. See that? Hit him in the face, it knocked his baseball cap off. Hit him in the face again, nothing! And then the motherfucker kills me! Look at that! And he does it again! Look how many times I shoot this guy! Look at this man! He will not die! The man does not die! Look at this bullshit! The unkillable man! It's